Good afternoon and welcome to SM Live, back for Livestream Friday. Great to have you with us again. This is our 10th Livestream show. So we had a week off last week. Well, not from work, but from live streaming. It was Good Friday, obviously, and the end of the month stroke end of the quarter. So I hope you all had a good finish. Builds on today's show, actually, for reporting on how that finished and how we can help with StockBook. I've got, firstly, to introduce me, I'm Chris Stott, so great to see you. I'm the CEO for SalesMaster. I've got with me Howard, as usual. So Howard, let me just cut across to you. Here he is.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good to have you on the show again, mate. So, we've got a good one today, actually, haven't we? So this is, we did a bit of this, I think, a few weeks ago, probably. So this is now a reporting overview for StockBook, but we've got some quite cool new stuff around the dashboard reports, which will be should be a good one. So hopefully you can take us through that in a bit more detail. What we're going to cover off today, Howard?
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, we've got some really good reporting tools that I know we've touched on in previous live streams together. So, but yeah, with some new useful tools that are coming out and or being released actually into the system. So yeah, everyone can benefit from. So super exciting to show everyone them this afternoon. And we'll cover off some really key
definitely.
pieces.
And good to see, you've beaten the rush on your haircuts. That's another DIY one, I think, isn't it? But yeah,
you don't.
You've got that perfected, though. So good job.
Exactly.
It's obviously counting down to a big week next week with a couple of days before showrooms reopening now. So everyone's very excited about that. And of course, getting this crazy long hair sorted out as well will be quite good. So. That's right. Yeah, we've got Rob with us this afternoon. Good to see you, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. So hopefully some cool stuff to show you today. So we'll get onto that in a second. We've got Annette moderating the chat as always. So if you want to contribute or get in touch, just drop a comment in the chat like Rob's just done. Feel free to ask us any questions about StockBook or anything else that we can help with, and we'll cover that off and share it for those of you that are watching. So great if you're watching live, because obviously we can have that interactive content. If you're watching this back, all of the streams are available on our YouTube channel. So just make sure you go in and subscribe and get notified, or click the bell and things to get notified when the new content comes live. We're trying to build up a bit of a library of this content to support the use of the software through the industry. So okay, well, without further ado then, should we crack on and get into some demonstration? Have you got a demo environment to log into, Howard, if I cut across to your screen?
Yes, I certainly have, Chris. Hopefully you
I can,
see
yes.
that.
And I've got the picture in picture, yeah, perfect.
Excellent. Yeah, so interestingly, this afternoon, we're going to be showing, I'm going to be using a couple of different environments, and that's purely because we want to give a bit more of a visibility of real life of SalesMaster. So, of course, every stream that anyone's watched previously will know that we use this demo account every time, which is where we can have a play and really show the system. But some of the reporting we'll show is a bit more live than today as well. So it gives real time of what it looks like in a live application. So yeah, really exciting.
Good stuff. Okay, so. First subject then, I suppose, on reporting, we're going to have a look at some more of the under negotiation and sales functions, are we?
Yeah, so I'll show how we put vehicles, or how vehicles are marked under negotiation and change the sales status, which really relevant for everybody that has access to SalesMaster, and obviously where we're sharing stock out, as we've spoken about in previous videos and live streams, about having that connected. The sales status in SalesMaster is kind of the key change. So you'll see from my screen straight away we've got a number of different statuses these vehicles sit at. So you can see some sold vehicles there, and some protected vehicles as well. Just quickly, I will touch on protected. Protected tends to be showroom vehicles. So we normally find if they're tagged on the manufacturer system or wherever the data is coming from into the SalesMaster app, that we will protect those vehicles. And it's not to say that they're not sellable by anyone. It's to just flag the fact that there is, it's a showroom vehicle. So, maybe you want to be conscious of that when you're putting it under negotiation, or of course selling.
Yeah, I was going to say we've seen that sort of for, as you mentioned, showroom vehicles, launch vehicles, something perhaps if you wanted to group a certain protected vehicles, but everyone can see them and you can see who's protected them and so on. So it just just gives that extra layer of protection on the car.
Yeah, you don't want to come in on a Monday morning and all your cars
are
over the weekend. That kind of scenario, all your favourites. So the sales status can be changed, obviously, within the application is exactly what we want to achieve. So we can simply drill down into some vehicles. For this instance, we'll go for some Volkswagen ones. Again, I'm going to minus the sold vehicles. There's two ways you can do that, actually. I use the negative search, and most people when we're doing their training we tend to use that, because if you, instead of using minus sold, if you use the like a helper, which is sales status is available, that will remove the sold vehicles is exactly what you want to achieve, but it also removes the vehicles that are under negotiation and the vehicles that are protected. So just going back to when we were discussing about protected vehicles. So always, train and teach and talk about using the minus sold function.
Cool.
So we can. Oh, I've got some tags there that says Howard. Oh, there you go. Interesting.
Wonder whose they are.
So, yeah. Demo. Yeah, we must be doing something there. So again, when we click onto the vehicle, it opens up the show of that specific vehicle. Interestingly, all this data that's shown in on these vehicle shows are you can expose them on the front page, so you don't but to go into a specific vehicle to see the details, you just click on it. Someone said to me, how did I do that the other day? So you simply just click on the vehicle and it will just bring up all the information on that specific one. Like so. So you can see just this is obviously demo information, so it's not real, so it's made up names. But you can see here, this is the sales status. So this is the functionality. And really interesting, we've got some really great reports that we're going to be showing it towards the end of the show today, of vehicles that have gone under negotiation within days as well. So daily counts of vehicles that go under negotiation, and there's some really interesting and high level numbers that shows us. So yeah, that would be interesting to show as well. So you can see here, once I click on the drop down, I've got a number of statuses of where I can change, and one of them is putting the vehicle under negotiation, or of course marking the vehicle as sold. This access is normally at management level, so you can see here there's sort of 5 different statuses that I can change the vehicles to because of my access. You tend to find, some access, you just have the ability to put a vehicle under negotiation or available. Depending on your access level. So I'm just going to put this vehicle under negotiation, and of course that will put a little padlock on it for you, and it will display back to everyone else looking in the system that vehicle is now under negotiation, like so. That will stay like that until I decide, actually, I'm going to go back and unlock that and make that available again, or of course, hip hip hooray, mark the vehicle as sold. But that will stay. What we tend to do is we tend to set a time on the account or on the brand that will stay locked for under negotiation, and that tends to be in the retail network around the 2-hour mark. So if after 2 hours nothing has changed with that vehicle, it will just trip back and become available again. So yeah, and of course at any point you can see the activity of that vehicle and when it was done. So you can see myself less than a minute ago moved the vehicle from available to under negotiation. And that stays on the vehicle for its life. So, if you wanted to see how many times a specific vehicle had been under negotiation, maybe price reviewing, offer price reviewing, you can see that within the activity as well. So it gives you key bits of information. Anything that is SalesMaster tagged, as you can see here, means that it's happened through an import. So when the imports come in and we've changed anything, moved it from a site, you can see there, that's because the import changed that, whether that would maybe coming from either the DMS or the factory system in that case. Okay. So
I was going to say, can you report? I was going to say, see how many you've done.
Vehicles that are under negotiation. So let's have a look at some reporting on there. We do that as a helper. People may have noticed when they use SalesMaster that we do create lots of different helpers within the system as well, just to really quickly get to what you're looking for. So out of those sort of number of vehicles that we have there. If I just want to have a look at the vehicles that are under negotiation at that stage, hang on just 1 second, sorry. I seem to have lost something there. So if I want to see, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it just got caught. So you can see under negotiation now from the top level number of sort of 21,500 vehicles. If I just take the tag under negotiation, you can see there's 7 cars under negotiation right now within that as well. And I can bring information in from that as well. So at this stage, we're just seeing these columns that are being used. But if I wanted to have a look at, bring some information in about who put that under negotiation, I can simply do that by selecting the headers and bringing them in to there as well. One that also you can bring in is the site. We will be talking a bit more about cross-selling across sites later, but you can bring that into the under negotiation as well. So these should all be me, which they are. There you go. So you can see last under negotiation by. Where was I based, the person that put it under negotiation, and obviously where that vehicle is. If you want to remove anything from this view, of course you can take the header out and drop it in below as well. So just redraw the page without that information in it, like so. And of course you can go in and you can save that. I could simply save it as under negotiation. I'm just going to stick my initials on the end of that, like so. And then a number of features that you can do with that, which we've shown in the past with save views, but I'm going to simply just pin it as a tag.
You've got some snappy names there on that one.
yeah, you can see
using your screen up.
Lots of work that we do. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you can see lots of different things there, lots of sold functions as well that we use. I've been through that before, so I won't go too much into save.
We've had can you on one of the I think Rob's actually just asked us a question. Is there a functionality to report by a named individual? So you've done that. So you've seen the ones that you put on under negotiation. How can we report on that? So presumably you can show via the search, or you can show the grouping as well for that league table style. Yeah.
So what, to find someone that, vehicles that have been...
so just reporting on the ones that have been put under negotiation by a named individual. So either, I guess, doing the search for that person or doing the league table style view. Just if you had a number of people doing it.
You can say last negotiated by, like so, and you can select that the users which were are in the account. So by just simply selecting on their name and then applying that, so you're just looking at those vehicles that individual has done, like so. So you can see at some stage through the period of time, myself, it's the best one to choose, has put 54 vehicles under negotiation.
And I guess then if you added the under negotiation filter on top of that as well, it would just show the ones that have been done by you and are still under negotiation as well.
Correct.
Awesome. Yeah,
like so. Yeah, interestingly then, great question from Rob, really, because you can see here what's actually, I've had under negotiation that have then obviously gone to sold as well. So, actually under negotiation by myself, now the sales status is sold. So out of those 54, haven't got a great conversion rate there, but out of those 54, 15 of them are sold.
Nice.
So yeah, quite a powerful, quite a powerful
And
view of that as well.
just on grouping as well, under negotiated by. If you didn't want that level of detail to see all the rows, can we do the count of that just so that you can see it as a it's like a league table style view?
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, so if you go under negotiation again, I go back into Search Builder here, the spanner, which is exactly where I went to do the filters. So where I went to just look for individual under negotiations, which we've shown in previous, but then you've got underneath that, you've got the group results. So this is exactly that. It's just grouping those vehicles, and you can group them by any means.
So last negotiated by as the individual. If you do last negotiated by as the person, it will give us that kind of view of the ones that are currently got it.
Yeah, so if other people were putting vehicles into under negotiation, they would have a count and it would just keep listing it down for them.
That's something we'll show on the sold at as well, so you can keep track of who sold what, either by person or by site, or if you're looking at a group role, by brand or division. So
yes, yeah, so if we go straight into the sold, I'll just take that away. But in the same principle, just looking at sold vehicles, then you wanted to see actually sold by who, like so. You can see once you apply that filter there, you can see it will capture all the people that have marked vehicles as sold. Or
nice,
like so.
And then sort by the counts as well. So the volume, so you can have the highest performer at the top. Which is Mr. Cox. Whose demo environment is this?
It's not just mine.
Yeah.
But so you can see, Simon's done well.
Yeah.
He's put.
I must try harder.
But just really. He's catching up. But poor old Daniel's only done one, so we won't talk about him. But some really good reporting, and happy to jump back to another screen, or I can just flick into something where I wanted to show some. We talk about grouping by model description.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, before you jump onto that, let's just we'll switch back. I'll split the cameras back to, if you go back to your main camera, and then we'll go back to that in a second. I think I was causing a few flickers of the screen there. Sorry about that, everybody. Annette has put a conversation. She's put a chat in there saying the head of sales should be at the top. So there you go. That's your meeting the requirements.
She's my favourite. She's my favourite.
When we those views that we've just built, and the league table ones in particular, I've seen use cases of those being set as like daily reports to be scheduled and sent. Obviously, we've showed that. We don't need to go in that today, but we've shown that all of those, say, views you built, that you can schedule them to go out. What would be the typical, again, sales manager in a retailer or a group role to be able to track performance across the group? What sort of things do you configure as part of those?
Yeah, certainly. It's always about almost those end of day reports as well. So yes, bi-weekly, by day, but we tend to find that in the evening, after the business is closed, actually what's been sold today, who sold the vehicles, which site sold it, was it a cross sell of a site, because the vehicle always exists at a particular site. But it's actually, when you sell that vehicle, it's not that site that sold it. So you want to say, actually, show me it sold by site.
We've got a good one coming up to show you on that, haven't we? So because that's a real good indicator from StockBook in the SalesMaster platform to be able to show, what, if you don't have it, what you'll be missing out on potentially. So this is a really powerful dashboard style review of the vehicles that have been sold by sites where the stock is in a different site. So that'll be a good one to show in a bit.
But
go. You go.
Go on. I was just going to say, I'm seeing more and more reporting elements being built in SalesMaster now, which is taking us into, actually, us enhancing it even further to be able to offer all of those reporting suite really of reports for all of our dealers and manufacturers that use SalesMaster. So,
yeah, and I think that brings us on probably to the next section of this live stream, which is the product and model mix reporting, which is more about kind of profiling your stock, isn't it? So instead of just looking at the cars that the teams are selling and marking as under negotiation, what's the right stock to carry? How's the age profile? Highlighting any and promoting any offers and tactical activity you may wish to do so to influence that. So it'd be good to go back. Are you if you switch over to your screen to
Yes, I'm ready. Yes. Cool. Yeah. Look at this.
Can
you see that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's a different environment. Everyone's going to be shocked. Yes, it looks the same though.
31,000 vehicles in here. So yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. It's really good. So exactly that. I'm going to look at just the Volkswagen vehicles for this instance, and again, we're just going to look at available vehicles. So we are going to use the sales status available only. So we've got 4,500 vehicles in front of us very quickly. I think we've shown in the past, but I may show it again actually, that we can what's sellable this month. Let's go for that as well. So we want to pick it from a certain status, or you could say vehicle status, and people that work in the VAG world will understand these. You might say, actually show me all the vehicles that are over a certain status code for 38 or 40, so they've arrived in the UK. But another one that I see people use is actually the days in stock is more than a number. So if you say actually days in stock is more than one, like so, it's now brought me to just over 1,500 vehicles. So these are sellable vehicles. They're all available, and they're across multiple sites and so forth. But rather than grouping, when I want to group that, I can actually group that by model name, like so. And once I apply that, it creates the pivot table then by
model. That's cool. Yeah, and again, we've got some.
I'm sure you.
Averages being calculated. Averages being calculated on the days in stock as well. I like that. That's cool.
Yes. So we'll go into that in just 1 second, because I built a report to show everyone. But yeah, you can see here now that's brought in the vehicles that we've got available. What's sitting at the top and so forth. So yeah, and of course you can drill straight into those vehicles and see them all in flashing lights. So
I suppose it's also worth saying when you did that search by, days in stock is transferable across all brands, obviously, but when you did the status code search in some of the other brands, we do that with a delivery date or another terminology. It kind of depends on. SalesMaster's powered by the factory feeds usually for new cars, so it's trying to show that search in a terminology that's understood by the certain franchise. So some of them we do it on model code and statuses, and others we do it on, as I say, dates. So just really trying to hone in onto the vehicles that are deliverable within that period. So but obviously days in stock is fully transferable across all brands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so good one to use on that as well for that purpose. So yeah, a little report that we built. I could build it for everyone, but to save time, you can see here. This is now taking all of those Volkswagen vehicles across there, grouping it by model name again. But this time we've added in a few headers within that data as well. So you've got where does the vehicle actually sit as far as its age profile within that as well. And I think the biggest one we have on this one, we can go bigger, but let's just say that the biggest ones, you can see that there's 4 vehicles that fall into that category. And what we've also done, and I mentioned this earlier, but we've created helpers for this as well. So if I start typing in DIS, I can then select which range I'm looking for. So obviously I want to have a look at the 270 to 359. So the biggest one that I've got at the end there. And as soon as I do that, you can see there's the 4 vehicles that fall into that.
And from there, after, you could obviously interact with that in the usual way that we've demonstrated before to put some kind of incentive or tag or campaign on those vehicles. But
Yeah.
So if you're looking at if you go back, take that one out, because of course again with the search you're able to interact with that. So if we just take that token out, go back a stage, and then we're looking at, say, the sub 90 day category, so that 0 to 89. So we do the same again to do a DIS helper for 0 to 89. That's going to show just that selection, and you can see that of that 25% are, in this case, golfs. So it allows you to give that product filtering, but the same could be said by fuel type, or if you wanted to see what it looked like with diesel, petrol, various other attributes on the vehicles to get that segmentation of the stock. It's quite powerful to be able to see that at a glance, and obviously all of these reports are then
or you can you could say show me all the red ones.
So the search works in the same way, whether you're looking at the grouped by view or just the list view. Yeah.
So I see lots of people doing that, and that kind of takes us to that X-ray reporting as well. That where we did some of the X-ray reporting. I think hopefully people have seen that before. I haven't got it on this environment, so I can't show you that. But
excellent. That's really good. That's you can see the power of that from both a manufacturer and a retailer offering in different profiles of whether it be whatever attribute you're keen to monitor, and then having those of course saved and scheduled as well. So you could have that saved as a dashboard, and you could also have it sent out to you automatically to arrive in your inbox.
Like so.
Fab. Yeah, no, it's very good. Time saver. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, let's cut back to cameras then. Brilliant. And then we'll go on to see what we've got coming up next. Right, I got you there. It's good. We've got some good, a few new people on the stream this afternoon, I think. So good to see you, and thanks for joining us. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, please click the subscribe button. It's great to build the number of subscribers on the channel. That'll help share then the content to you and create more live streams for the future, and build this sort of how-to information for us to publish more content to all of our user base. So don't just click the subscribe button and give us a like if you can. Okay, what have we got coming up next? I think just tracking through the agenda on the video. I think next one we were looking at more around something we've shown before on coverage. So looking at vehicles, this is more reporting on completeness of vehicles for powering omnichannel sales. Obviously we did I've done a live stream a couple of weeks ago on omnichannel, and obviously it's very popular in terms of the sales channel to get vehicles online. So can we look at a report of how to check that the cars are being maintained and the information is accurately pulled together to monitor that across a business? That'd be a good one to show.
Yeah, of course. We can jump straight into that. It's very relevant for topic of conversations with new implementations that we've had in the last few weeks, and some good ones coming up as well. So absolutely, I will share.
Absolutely, we've got dealerships opening, as we said, next week, but in the interim and then post that, they're still going to have people buying online and buying in the showroom. So good to be able to keep track of all of the consumer data. Consumer friendly data,
Should we pick on let's go back onto Volkswagen again then, and then minus the sold vehicles as we did, but this time we're going to go into grouping, and we'll probably do this by site. So it's always great to go down by site. Obviously, as we displayed, you can do it by model name as well, but you tend to find that the site is responsible for their own vehicles, of having them enabled to go to the omni channels through that as well. So it tends to be the best way to do it. So really simply, I've got only 3 sites in this account here. For the Volkswagen, of course, I can stretch that and show every site, but it's probably just a bit clearer for everyone just to see it like so. And then I just move the headers around. So just like we do when we're on the front page and we want to set our own, using column chooser to set our own visibility, this time I'm just going to go straight for all the coverage bits. So I'm going to pull out a few. I'm going to pull out retail price. I'm going to pull out mileage, and then I'm hopefully just left. Everyone can see that with a total count and a percentage that they're made up of that. And then I can find everyone finds this quite a busy screen, but you can see here we want to just bring in the coverage ones. So if I simply just use the search function and start typing for coverage, you'll see some of the ones that we cover. We cover a few more, but this one, in this sort of demo environment, this is the ones we've got. So I can bring in image coverage, I can bring in cap coverage, I can bring in offer price coverage, I can bring in video coverage even. Like so, and you can see then they start to just give us a count of those on those.
And as a reminder for people that haven't seen kind of that functionality, that they're obviously on the other previous live streams, but you can go in and the tooling in SalesMaster allows your teams to match the data, in this case with cap coverage, just to make sure you've got the relevant codes for onward, making the data a bit more portable, but also images, so you can track again all through integrations. So an API to allow image integration with the various image and video providers, so you can see at a glance on this view the ones that haven't got images and video, which is quite a lot at the moment. So obviously these haven't got live, these haven't got videos and images attached to them or any offer prices, but have got complete coverage. Well, so.
We definitely stick up for Steve in this one, because he reports on a weekly basis and a regular basis to us all that the sizable growth that we see in.
Well, we're having virtually, I think at the moment, like month-on-month highlines of new record sort of image coverage and video coverage in the app, and matching and offer prices. So it's clear representation of what's going on in the industry to get this data in a consumer-friendly way to be powering online.
And top topic.
With the customers. Absolutely. Yeah. Nice one. Okay, no, thanks for that, mate. That's been a good one. So before we wrap up, are we going to have a look? We've got there's some cool new reporting that we've not shown before on these live streams. So let's just cut across to that one. So this is some dashboard style charts that sit across all of those list views. So Howard, do you want to just talk through what we've got here?
Yeah, so absolutely. So this sits in as a report suite on your SalesMaster login. So everybody gets access to this. You can switch using the drop down into your account. Obviously, this is shown across all accounts because of my access. So you would see it across your own account within that as well. But it gives you a full count of different matrix on headers, like so you can see all vehicles, how many total vehicles across a number of accounts in this case. What you will notice is this big drop off here off the edge of a cliff, and if you look down you'll see actually why that was.
End of the month and end of the quarter.
End of the month, end of the quarter. So suddenly a lot of vehicles.
I guess it's also, it does look extreme on that drop, but it's, if you look at the scale of the number of units that have changed, it's not. And bear in mind, this is well, it shows the scale of the data in the platform, but it's
normally quite static, consistent sale and data until you get to an end of quarter or at the end of the month, and then it kind of comes back up as vehicles start to come back in. So we'll probably see this rising back up over the next 3 months.
And the time period, you'll notice, it's probably better for this purpose. I think you've chosen the right one on the month, definitely. But you can actually have a look at a lens of different data. So we could do that just as the 7 days if you wanted to see it in a different scale, which is quite useful. You can just, there you go. So that's how it would show over a 7-day period. But good in this example, just to show it as across the month. Okay, and then what else?
So then the next one we come to is the stock types of the vehicles. So you can see here we've got new and used. Used covers all, demo vehicles or trading vehicles and so forth. So whatever's in the account really. And what you will notice is how high the new car is. There's a spike above used. That's because of the pipeline stock that obviously is displayed in SalesMaster. So we count that at the point of the vehicle starts.
Of course. So as we said before on terminology in SalesMaster, when we refer to stock, it doesn't necessarily mean physical stock. It's all, as soon as a vehicle's ordered on the factory system, it'll then be represented right through that production process. So, and particularly when you're looking at vehicles that are close to being physical. So again, we've said about that previously, awaiting shipment. So the cars are built, but not yet in the UK. Great to have sight of that level of stock, so you know what's deliverable in a short period, even if it's not physically in the UK yet.
Yeah.
Okay, and scrolling down, what else have we got?
Scrolling down, so available vehicles.
Following in line with the other total vehicle one. But yes, this is the one I wanted to get to. Sales status events. So this is a
So this is really, really good. So top level number there, you can see vehicles within the application that went under negotiation. There was over 4,000 vehicles in one particular day that went under negotiation. So it just shows how real time your SalesMaster becomes for you in the business, and any sharing. So you can see, and then obviously versus the sold.
So you're looking at the combination of that view of data, which is very high level, obviously, where you can track and see the use. I mean, in this case, it's giving us a real indication of the engagement on the platform, because obviously it represents a lot of vehicles being marked under negotiation and sold through every day. But you couple that with the other under negotiation views that we looked at, right down to the list view of the vehicles with the individuals, or the group by pivot table style league tables. You've got a lot of reporting for, depending on what level, how granular you want on that, depending on your role within the business. So great to see that. And then there's another good one, isn't there, that we teed up as well, which is this is really interesting one, and you see this become really active when SalesMaster is implemented into a business, is the cross-site selling. How many vehicles have been sold that belong, and we've talked about it, and we talked about it earlier, I think, but where the vehicle belongs to one site but is sold by another, and this is captured in this report as well. So really, really which
powerful.
If you imagine that in a retailer group that doesn't have SalesMaster, and on that day, there's several hundred cars, over 1,000 on that particular day that are sold, where 1,099 sold where they were in stock with a different site in your group. That's pretty staggering, because obviously without this level of group stock visibility, what would have happened to those? Would they have been a factory order, or worse still, you might not have even sold the car and the customer could have gone elsewhere? So tremendous power.
Really, really powerful visual. And these are reports that you can build in the application as we've done, but this is just giving you a true visibility of that information in just a lovely
definitely. And then nice to see on the active users actually across there, the growth. So you can just see the spike as retailers and dealers look to reopen on Monday. Brilliant. So really exciting, and seeing lots of people come back. Very good. No, it's excellent. So hopefully that's given you certainly a cool overview of some of the reporting we've got. I'll cut back to the cameras there. So as I say, multi-level reporting, whether it's individuals on that detailed list view or the group by pivot table style, right up to the dashboard overview. Super coverage for reporting in SalesMaster. So I think we're fairly close to wrapping up now. So, but if everyone has got any questions, obviously please shout. If you're watching this back afterwards, then just put the comment in the normal YouTube comments, and Annette will collate some of those ready for the future live streams. We are trying to run these on regular sessions on Friday, live stream Fridays for SM Live. So obviously we skipped last week due to the end of the month and the Good Friday, but we'll be back again next Friday. So it'd be great to have you with us. We'll get the information out on the normal channels to tell you what's coming up on that show. And please, as I said earlier, hit the subscribe and give us a like, and let's try and spread the word and get this community building. Exciting time in the industry, I think. Lots happening next few weeks with the reopening, and obviously a whole new channel of sales through online. So really good. Anything before we wrap up, Howard, from your side?
No. Just obviously people do get in touch. We happy to do individual demos as well as obviously doing our live streams. But we've got some really good new partners joining SalesMaster over the coming weeks, and anyone that's on that's not, even for just a conversation, please give us
definitely shout. Good stuff. Well, thanks again, everyone, as always. Thank you, Annette, and thank you, Howard, for joining me. Thanks, Rob, for joining us in the chat. So great to see you and have you with us on this stream this afternoon. We'll be on again next Friday, so look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, hope you have a great weekend. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much.